Hi there, this is Kevin from Roguedeckbuilder.com, here with some more fun with my Immortal Servitude bug deck. I am still in love with this deck. It has kept me from actually brewing anything fresh. Still trying to perfect it. Made a few changes to the deck. Added a black cat, as you can see. And I might add some more. I only had one of when I was actually looking at my cards. So I'm still using 2 ravenous rats and 1 black cat. The main changes I made to the sideboard is I put in Skirsdag Highpriests, as suggested by a lot of people on Reddit and on the YouTube channel. Also, I included 4 of Duresses to try to get rid of those rest in peace, and cards like Sphinx's Revelation. Those are kind of the cards that have been killing me right now. So Duress, I think, in the sideboard is a great option. Also gets rid of like Rakdos' Return and Slaughter games. So you can first turn Duress into it, and then maybe even Snapcaster Duress to get rid of their other threat. So I really liking this deck. Got rid of the Golgari charms and the Dimir charms, as I thought they were the weakest for the Duresses. I thought they were the weakest cards to cut. Anyway, this is just a replay. I didn't do a live match. I'll have to do some live matches here shortly again. I'll maybe enter this into a standard daily. Who knows? We'll see. Another exciting thing is that I recently wrote, or actually taped, some videos for gatheringmagic.com. So it should be out Thursday or Friday. Go check it out, gatheringmagic.com. It's called Playing on a Budget, and yours truly, me, Kevin from Roguedeckbuilder.com, taped some videos, and I'm really excited about it. Really excited to get my name out and actually, do some professional videos here, actually getting paid for it, which is cool. So yeah, go check it out. Go support me if you're a fan of mine. If you like my videos, this is definitely a way that you can get my name out or help support me, is by checking out that website, commenting on their website and letting them know how much you enjoy my videos. Anyway, onto the game here. This is a great hand. There's a black cat and a blood artist and the 2 draw card creatures, and you got the combo piece with the blood thrown vampire. So definitely a keep hand. And I believe we are on the draw here. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're on the draw going up against a red deck. So I lead off here with a breeding pool into play tapped. That way we can play our Hinterland Harbor. This usually isn't a keep, but with the Elvish Visionary and the Alchemist's Apprentice, I thought, what the hell? I can probably draw into a black source eventually by the time I cast these creatures. So feeling pretty good about this so far. And he leads off with the Flimth Boar, very aggressive start. And I do draw into my black source. I decided to actually play it so I can play the black cat. I'm really actually liking the black cat a lot. The only thing that I don't like about the black cat is Pillar of Flame. That's the only reason I think I might run Ravenous Rats over black cat, is the prevalence of Pillar of Flame, or even cards like Azori's Charm, even though I doubt I'd ever attack with it, or even a Terminus. Heaven forbids a Terminus gets a black cat out of the way, but that's not that big of a deal if that's the case. But of course we can't avoid that if we can play a Bloodthrown Vampire and sack it in response. But still, I am worried about black cats being pillared away. So off to a great start. We can chump block this Flint Boar. And he gets out a 3rd turn Predator Ooze, and I'm okay with that, as I've got these nice little Alchemist's Apprentice. So I will chump block a Flint Boar, and a Scarred Guildmage goes to the graveyard. Decent card that I've been seeing put in these RG lists. This particular deck I'm playing against is Jund. He's trying to combine the best of both worlds, and I think it makes his deck quite awkward. You'll see that in game 2. But I am glad to see that Trample gone, as I can chump this Predator Ooze forever now. Trample is a ability that does give this deck a bit of problem. So I'll lead the Blood Artist. Might as well start gaining some life here. I'm not going to block anything here. I'll take 4. And this way, all of my creatures that I do chump block will give me life in the meantime. So I play an Elvish Visionary, and probably the right play would be to play a Vampire here, but I decide to go with another... Alright, Alchemist's Apprentice, that's right. So I can block and sack so the Predator's Ooze does not get a counter. It also would have worked to do the Bloodthrown Vampire. I could have blocked the Flameth Boar and sacked it. Oops, here, let's pause this down real quick. I could have blocked the Flameth Boar and the Elvish Visionary and sacked the Elvish Visionary in response to the Bloodthrown Vampire and killed off that Flameth Boar and took 0 damage from the Predator Ooze. But he does have a Searing Spear from my Blood Artist, which is fine. I'll just chump block both of these and stay at a healthy 14. That's not bad. So on to the next draw here. We draw into a Drowned Catacomb. Now that's awesome. There's our 3 black sources. So again, we will play a Elvish Visionary, or Blood Artist here. There we go. And an Alchemist's Apprentice. That's what I'll play. That way I can again chump the Predator Ooze and sack it in response. So only a Rancor is or another sort of trample effect is really threatening here. But he seems to be stuck on 3 lands, and that's good for us, of course. So he probably has a lot of high casting cards in his hand, and we're able to get another card out of our Apprentice and get another life, which helps mitigate the damage this Flint Hoof Boar is doing. I'm loving to see that Snapcaster Mage, because that means that if I do end up milling a Immortal Servitude, I can eventually cast it. So I'm gonna Forbidden Alchemy to try to find my pieces here, and I do take the Alchemist Apprentice over the Tracker's Instinct because we can flash it back. Maybe Grizzly Salvage was the better thing there, but I didn't want to mill my Immortal Servitude at this point. So again, the Overgrown Tomb comes in. His turn, he misses land drop again and all this chump, and mitigate the damage again from the Flint Boar. So looking good. Drawn to a Tracker's Instinct. Very good, because now we don't care if we mill our Immortal Servitude because we can flash it back. So I think I am in a Tracker's Instinct here. Or maybe, what do I decide to do here? Okay, yes, Tracker's Instinct. I find a Visionary, or what do I find there? Yeah, I find an Elvish Visionary with it. Put it into my hand, put the other stuff in my graveyard, and go ahead and cast the Elvish Visionary. Draw another Watery Grave. So 33 cards left. Still haven't drawn into our Immortal Servitude yet. There's got to be one soon. So we just got to hold off the attacks here for a couple more turns before we can find that Immortal Servitude. Since I'm mortaring off the Blood Artist, which is fine again. We're not in any real danger here. We can chump block both of these, which I do decide to do, and draw another card. There's another Hinterland Harbor. So Bloodthorn Vampire, at least I can chump again. And we find our Immortal Servitude with the track. I flash back a Tracker's Instinct there, and we get an Augur Bolas out of it, and the Immortal Servitude grows to the graveyard. So next turn I can flash back the Snapcaster Mage into the Immortal Servitude. So I am going to cast a Augur Bolas here. I miss with it, and going to cast a Bloodthorn Vampire. That way I can do the whole block the Flint Hoof Boar and block the Augur with the Predator Ooze, and then we can trade the Flint Hoof Boar for the Bloodthorn Vampire because sack in response. This doesn't get a counter, and kill off the Flint Hoof Boar. He finally gets his 4th land source, and he Abrupt Decays in response. He Abrupt Decays my Bloodthorn Vampire. That's fine. I get a Abrupt Decay out of the way. So I'm just going to go for it here. I'm going to go for the Snapcaster Mage and flash back the Immortal Servitude. And I'm checking here to actually see if he's dead on board, and I do see he is. I have way more than enough. There's 2 Blood Artists in the bin here. Decided to attack into with the String Root Geist to get him down to 14, but I don't think that was even necessary. We have a lot of damage here with the Immortal Servitudes. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, we have plenty of triggers here to get him way down. Just the power of Immortal Servitude. As you can see, deck is very good against aggressive decks, as you can chump block forever, and it even gets better post sideboard with the Tragic Slips, Abrupt Decays. All I do is I usually just side out a bunch of the Grizzly Salvages and Tracker's Instincts to put in more of the control, and even side out maybe an Elvish Visionary or 2. And just putting the Abrupt Decays and Tragic Slips and Sever the Bloodlines and things like that. And eventually, we will draw into enough creatures in Immortal Servitude to flash everything back. As you can see, this is the... Yeah, we had plenty of damage there. Still had a Bloodthorn Vampire times 2, another String Root Geist, and yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 damage left we could have done. All right, we'll go on to game number 2. So like I said, I sided in the anti-aggressive package because I thought he was more of an aggro deck, but this time around it seems like he's more of a mid-range deck, as you'll see here in a second. So leads off with the Stomping Ground. I'll lead off with the Drowned Catacomb. Now I'm wishing that I would have actually led off with the Hinterland Harbor so I could cast the Strangler Geist, but that's fine. We can actually cast the Augur Bolas instead. Oh, that was his Overgrown Tomb. There we go. Well, I drew into a breeding pool there, and I was kind of wishing I would have had that Hinterland Harbor. We will Augur Bolas. And I do believe I missed with the Augur Bolas. Yeah. Yep, missed with the Augur Bolas. And he hits a Domri and misses with his Domri. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of that Domri raid. We'll Abrupt Decay it. And then I didn't even decide to swing in just in case I want to block a hasted flint boar or something. But Olivia comes into play. But we do have the Bloodthorn Vampire with the Tragic Slip combo, which, you know, gets rid of Olivia. So I will play that out and just deal with her right now before it gets out of control. So now I get to see that he is a mid-range Jund deck. Kind of a weird build, like I said, with like Flint Boars and Predator Oozes, but then, you know, a higher curve with Thragtusk, Olivias, and whatnot. Trying to do the best of both worlds, but like I said, I think it makes his deck a bit awkward. As last game you could see, he probably was stuck with a bunch of high casting cost stuff in his hand when he didn't hit his higher land drops. So anyway, I decide that I'm just going to Forbidden Alchemy here, and I find the Sever the Bloodline. I think that's the most powerful card. And I throw a Blood Artist and Augur in the bin. And we got a String Root Geist to actually block the Thragtusk here. And the future Beast token that comes out. But he plays a Predator Ooze, and I decide to sack the String Root Geist to give my dude +2/+2 so I can block the Thragtusk and keep this alive for the Beast token. And we can sever the Predator Ooze. He's down to 2 cards. We're in very good shape here. So he Abrupt Decays in response. He Abrupt Decays my Bloodthorn Vampire to keep his Thragtusk alive. Once again, I'm okay with that. Gets another card out of his hand. And I decide, yeah, I might as well just sever the Predator Ooze before it gets out of control. And cast the Bloodthorn Vampire. So this time if he does attack with this Thragtusk, I will just block with the String Root Geist. And I do. That's a good trade. I'm okay with that. And look at that. We draw into our Immortal Servitude. So I might as well cast it here. Nothing else is going on. We can't flashback the Sever the Bloodline or the Forbidden Alchemy. So we have an Augur in here. We have a Blood Artist. 2 Augurs, actually. Another Vampire and a String Root Geist. So it's quite good card advantage, especially if we hit with the Augurs here. So we missed with the first Augur. But I hit a Forbidden Alchemy with the second Augur, I do believe. Yes, we hit a Forbidden Alchemy, and the good thing is we get another Blood Artist in the trash can here. No, we don't. It goes on the bottom of our library. That's how Augur of Bolas works. But we do get the Forbidden Alchemy, which is one of our most powerful cards in this deck, especially when we can cast it and flash it back. So I can find a land next turn and have enough for a Snapcaster flashback or a Forbidden Alchemy flashback, and we're in very good shape. Got the Blood Artist. Got enough blockers forever. So he puts out a Desecration Demon. This card's absolutely awful versus this deck. It gives me another sack option. And again, I'll just kill off this beast. That's fine with me. I'll block here with an Augur, a Bolas, and a String Root Geist. And he decides to Abrupt Decay a Blood Artist so that he doesn't take as much life and I don't gain as much life. And kills off the Augur, Bolas. Perfectly fine with me. So I'll actually cast a Forbidden Alchemy here and find the Overgrown Tomb so that I do have the 7 lands that I need to flash back the Forbidden Alchemy and sever the Bloodline. And go ahead and I should have played this play untapped so I could actually cast a Strangleroot Geist, but not a big deal. A little bit of a misplay there. Decide to swing in with 1 Bloodthorn. If he wants to trade, then we can trade here. I decide I will tap down his Desecration Demon and make this dude a 3/2. And this turn, that way, I can attack with the Strangleroot Geist. I'll attack with everything here. And then, of course, we can sack a creature to Desecration Demon again next turn. So go ahead and tack in with everything. Take him down to 13 and cast the Alchemist Apprentice. And again, we're able to sack here. I decide to sacrifice a String Root Geist. I wish I would have sacked something else because he does go ahead and clear the board with Mizium Mortars, which kills off everything but the Bloodthorn Vampire. I'm able to sack enough to keep 1 Bloodthorn Vampire, so it's giving me a couple turns to stabilize. Again, I can sack in response to the Desecration Demon. I can flashback Forbidden Alchemies. I can flashback Sever the Bloodline here if I didn't draw into the Snapcaster Mage, but this is basically game now that I drew the Snapcaster Mage and have enough mana to flashback Immortal Servitude. So we'll go ahead and do that, flash it back, and I believe he scoops here because we get a sane amount of creatures that come in here. Yeah, he does scoop here. And I would be able to, with 0 cards in hand, he can't respond to this, I'd be able to sack the Geist to make this dude a 5/5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the two blood artist triggers from there would kill him. Plus, you know, if you've got the blood or sugar here, blood or sugar here, blood or sugar here, blood or sugar here, and still actually way more +2/+2 counters here. Yeah, so I could just sack everything to this vampire and swing in with, you know, two 3/2s and a huge Bloodthorn Vampire. So that's the gist of Immortal Servitude. I didn't get to play with the Skirsdag Highpriests. It's a bad matchup for it with the Abrupt Decades and the Mizzy Mortars and everything else. But, you know, very fun deck. I really, really like this Immortal Servitude deck. I'm hoping... I've had a bunch of people already comment and message me and said they've ran this at their local F&M. That's awesome. I'm glad that you guys have done that. If you could... join our Facebook page and Facebook/Roguedeckbuilder and just upload your deck list. Just tell us how you did at the FNM, and you know, there might be a sweet prize if we get enough people to do it. I know my last Facebook contest was a bust, but it was a bit ambitious of me to be holding a contest at this point with my channel so small. But in the future, I do plan on, you know, help promoting the community more with prize, so people can actually. I really want the Facebook page to become a platform for people to talk about decks, talk about rogue decks, and eventually I will get the website up, but until then, Facebook's a great platform. YouTube's kind of a horrible platform with you only have a allotted amount of characters that you can use, and you can't link anything in the comments. It's just one of those things that is very awkward. So yeah, come join us in the Facebook, Facebook/Roguedeckbuilder, and love to see you there. And let's play this deck at FNM. It's very fun, and let me know how it goes. This is Kevin from Roguedeckbuilder.com. Thanks for watching.